being here. So Massimo is director at NTNU, and he has previously held the position of head of European Union International Bodies Unit in ENEA, which is the Italian National Agency for New Technologies, the Energy and the Sustainable Economic Development, acting since 2006, also as director of ENEA Liaison Office in Brussels. So thank you, Massimo, for being here with us. And feel free to share your screen. I think everything should be working, but let me know if you have any problems. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Flavia, for your kind introduction, and thanks a lot to the organizer for having invited me to this very interesting meeting and this challenging presentation. I have to say that in the preparatory, I agreed about giving a bit of overview about what NTNU is doing in terms of smart communities linked to skills, and this is what my presentation will look at. Of course, I followed the templates you provided me, so you see that here I have the titles and here the title of the session. But now, why my screen is not react? Okay, just allow me a brief introduction about NTNU for the one which doesn't know it. NTNU is the Norwegian University of Science and Technology. We are a university with main profile in science and technology, so if you want, we are a polytechnic university, but we have also academic breadth because we also have humanities, social sciences, medicine, health sciences, science of education, architecture, fine arts, and performing arts. We are different from many universities which are based in a single city. We have also headquarters in different cities in Norway. Our headquarters are in Trondheim, and we have campuses in Gjøvik and Ålesund, and also we have a Brussels office of which I am the director. So you see here how geographically we are shared. We are placed in Norway.
Sorry to interrupt. I don't know if you can put just a bit bigger the presentation on the sharing, because we can see just the
you can see it.
Yeah, we can see, but it's not in full screen mode. It's on the
okay, I'm coming, just 1 second. My fantastic trainings I provided me. So you see it now in full screen?
Yeah, you need to put enable editing, I think, and then you will be able to put full screen.
1 second.
Okay.
We're trying to find the... Now?
Not yet.
Oh, that's interesting.
Maybe just to click double or something on the slide. But yes, maybe first to enable editing this.
Yes.
Where I can find enable editing?
It's here it above
is, okay.
the yes.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, now.
And
okay.
on the bottom, you should be able to put full screen.
Okay, so let's put it full screen now. Where it is? Can you press F5 or this one? Yeah. Okay, now.
I think we can proceed. It's just a matter. We can see the slides.
You can press on display settings and change the switch displays.
Yes, on display settings. Thank you, David.
Now my train is okay now.
Yeah, that's perfect. Sorry, Massimo.
Okay, sorry for the inconvenience.
Thank you.
We found the solution. Okay, so about NTNU, I told you we are the biggest, currently biggest university in Norway, with 8 faculties, 55 departments, and 1 NTNU University Museum. The university is quite big. We are about 7,700 employees with more than 42,000 students. Very active and engaged in the European arena. In Horizon 2020, we got 224, and since today 228, because we got also some answers about the Green Deal call, with more than with around 120 million euros of funding collected for NTNU. So about the smart communities, I would like to present you 3 different cases of smart communities approach inside NTNU regarding the exchange of skills. And I would like to target them from an internal point of view, from a local point of view, the regional system, and from a global point of view, the European system itself. The three examples are an NTU Food Forum, which is a forum we have created 1.5 years ago, Technoport Initiative, and Unilan. Coming to the NTU Food Forum is a forum that we have organized internally to deal with food systems and manage sustainability challenges in order to make the most of our position in the EU. And this forum has been created as an internal answer to provide our contribution to an important European initiative in which we became members, which is the European Food Forum of the European Parliament. And this proved to be an excellent way to commit a scattered population, because universities are composed by many professors, and in order to get them under the same umbrella with a strategic vision. And this somehow helped us to create a two-way route combining NTNU food expertise and the EU system. But more interesting is the fact that it gave us the capability to create and allow a multidisciplinary smart community, allowing to facilitate cross-faculty skills and knowledge exchange, which for a complex organization like NTNU is, has been of utmost importance, because in some cases we put in touch even professors that didn't know about each other. And all of this thanks to the link with the European system, if you want. And today we are capable to say that in NTNU we have a structured food competence that is summarized in this picture that comprises experts from all of our faculties, from all of our campuses, and through this exercise, by linking our capabilities to the positioning at European level, we have been able to involve more than 90 professors that basically have a forum for exchange of skill, creation of multidisciplinary collaborations and dialogue, and also make able a university to answer fast to possible provocation and requests from the European system. And in this period of pandemic, also the use of computer tools and communication methodologies based on Teams, for example, from Microsoft, made our interaction to happen very efficiently. So, if you want, the Food Forum helped us to go from fragmented research to a strategic and organized forum with a system approach. And I would like to define it as real smart community, because it works like a smart community with a lot of inter-exchange between its members and skill exchange as well. This is just an overview of how it is structured. We have identified professors that basically represent the rule of the system at European level. And we have called them ambassadors, because basically we think that they are representing NTNU in the European system. But these ambassadors are supported by the central box that you see here, which is the amount of knowledge that NTNU has in the food sector, in order to allow the ambassadors even to be capable to represent all the competencies that we have inside, providing multidisciplinary inputs. So if you want, it's a form of skill exchange. The second example is more on local terms. This is an initiative that NTNU runs together with important stakeholders in Trondheim area. So it's a regional initiative called Technoport. And the aim of Technoport is to create a meeting place for all relevant stakeholders to make sure that innovation is happening. Is a member-based organization. The members are the key players for research and education in the Trondheim area, but also includes technology, finances, and public sector actors. Normally, Technoport create meeting place, and the most important one is the Technoport annual conference that basically tries to create exchange of skills and ideas on a unique arena, to make sure that, for example, new spin-off companies are created, or to make sure that new collaborations are happening, because one of the targets of the Trondheim region and its actors is to transform Trondheim is one of the more how can I say, innovation creation labs of Europe. The slogan is from lab to market. Here we have the picture of Karianne Tung, which is the CEO of Technoport. And as I told you, this initiative connects members and partners and do advisory in order to make sure that the exchange of skills and collaboration with broad range of actors within technology and innovation is going to happen. The third example I would like to put on the table is Unilion. Unilion is a tool that NTNU Brussels office in this case, so it's a European dimension example of smart community, is a group that NTNU Brussels office launched 4 years ago in collaboration with other Brussels offices. We started in 3, and we were feeling the need to have a smart community or informal community, if you want, of similar actors like us in order to create a place where to exchange again knowledge, where to create collaboration, where to exchange skills and grow together in a world, Brussels, which is quite complex, if you want, because there is so many things to discover and to collect that normally the single liaison office has problems in managing, because normally a liaison office in Brussels is not a big unit. In this way, if you want, we have created a virtual liaison office of 50 people, because we are 50 members today. And what is interesting is that these 50 members represent in reality a larger community of 156 universities, because we represent, in some cases, even more than one university. This is not the case of my office. The final end of this is not to be a lobbying entity. There are already lobbying entities that we don't want to overlap or to overcome, but we would like to be an effective information multiplier, an effective entry point to a world of excellence universities, and a gateway for our partner to get in touch with European institutions and partners, and vice versa. As I told you, the most important factor of success of Unilion is the exchange of information and the exchange of skills, because everyone feels this to be a community where we get something back if we provide knowledge. So it's the knowledge exchange, very high level knowledge exchange, and the directors are very keen. I've been proudly the chair of it for the first 3 years of existence, but our rules also sees that we need to rotate in order to make sure that the network keeps its enthusiasm. So today I'm deputy chair of it, but I'm very proud about it to still be very active, very successful, and very looked for. The activities of this interesting community are based on core meetings, which I told you are the most important things happening, because we basically, it's there that we exchange knowledge, that we support each other, where we invite presentations on strategic issues, so to get aligned and also to know about latest things that are going to happen in the political world of research and innovation. We also organize specific events, again, to get information and to increase our skills. We also have a virtual sharing document area where we basically exchange information also in written format. We also have the social events to make team building, a secretariat that is the fundamental ingredient for managing and coordinating the whole network. And we also have an annual event that every year is organized in a form of high-level debate on relevant education, research, and innovation themes. These are some of the faces and some of the logos composing the network. As you probably noticed, many universities that you are already aware of. It's a very alive community, and we also work on the basis of thematic working groups that basically help to focus on variable geometry on different topics and themes. These are 3 examples, but all of them, to some extent, helped us to test different approaches to smart communities that have many points in common. For us, as NTNU, this model proved to be very effective at all levels, both at internal, local, and global level. As smart communities are about connecting, we also, of course, had challenges posed by COVID, because we missed, if you want, the direct interaction between the community members to make sure that the exchange of skills and networking was happening in a most efficient way. And of course, in our case, after a period of adaptation, we found out that the virtual tools, and basically video conference tools, gave us the opportunity, I mean, in this case, COVID gave us opportunity to, if you want, enlarge also the visibility and the impact of the knowledge and the exchange and of the capability communicating outside of the smart communities through virtual events that attracted even larger numbers than a normal event that you are capable to organize in the Brussels constituency and in presence. We perceive, however, that face-to-face interaction are necessary because they also create mutual trust and stronger collaboration in terms to be open in exchanging skills and knowledge. And the perception today, because we are starting planning activities for the future, is that we probably are going to go for mixed interactions, both in digital and physical format. So we expect the future to be composed by events in which we will need to make an extra effort in broadcasting them, while at the same time organizing them locally with having people in the room, also to ensure appropriate networking. I choose not to be too long in my presentation because I would appreciate if there are questions, of course. So this is the end of my presentation, and I'm very happy to answer to any question or comment that you could have. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Massim. Thank you for your interesting presentation. Indeed, I have the information that you'll have to leave a bit after your presentation, that probably you won't be able to stay until the debate. So I'm opening the floor for any questions for Massimo now, or in case you want to address them later, we can also, of course, send him to Massimo by email. But let us know if there are any immediate questions. In the meanwhile, I think I can just make one, which is related to Unilion that you were mentioning. How does someone can join this informal community? Let's say, how is it open for joining, or how does it work?
Yes, Unilion is an open community, so we are not a closed club. We have just some basic rules, and the basic rules are that you should be based in Brussels, and you should represent a university in full. Because as I told you, the main measure of success, or the main reason of the success of Unilion, is the fact that the members perceive that they can give, having something in return. So it's a community where the same level of playfield in the skills exchange that we have provides the trust. And so the decision to reserve it to the actors that work in Brussels was to ensure that the level of information exchange and the content of information exchange is based on the same field of operation. So any office of universities that is based in Brussels is welcome to join. We are still receiving requests and we are still expanding. And so we are totally open and eager to welcome new members, even if, for example, universities are opening new offices. In this period, there are many universities which are opening Brussels offices. So also on this, we would like to welcome new members to Unilion. Portugal at the moment is not represented, so it would be very nice to have it, to have a Portuguese representative. Maybe it's a good time to think about opening an office here.
For sure. Okay, perfect. And I think that from what you were saying, that it's interesting that you can join skills, and maybe even when you are looking at the European context or European projects, you can just better match in a more comprehensive way what you can answer to. I don't know if, for example, with this you were able to, for example, build up some project together or something like this on the topic, on different topics, let's say.
Yes, definitely. Consider one thing. Milion is a network based on voluntary effort. So somehow we cannot go too much beyond a set of not too much time-consuming activities. However, we have, for example, organized a brokerage event for the Green Deal call that created some joint proposals that are currently under evaluation. The results of the Green Deal call are just coming out in these days. So we are curious to see if any of the projects that have been created through this brokerage event, they got a huge participation of university representatives from Unilion members, got funded. Would be a very nice success story to tell if you want. So basically, it's a network where we also exchange opportunities, where we create mutual collaboration, where we have created some joint proposals. In some cases, some of them has been funded. You know how competitive is the Brussels world and the European world, but we got a couple of success stories of requests for partners that have been launched in the network that at the end resulted in a funded proposal.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Massimo. Well, just stay until you can, and if anyone wants to drop a message on the chat, we'll be looking into it. And thank you again for your interesting presentation. I will move now to our next speaker, which will be a video recording because the person was not able to attend. So I will share a video, a presentation from Reyes Alejano, which is from the Universidad de Huelva. Reyes Alejano is, she's Pro-Vice Chancellor of Internationalization at Huelva University. She holds a PhD in forestry engineer and is lecturer and researcher at the university since '96. And her specialization is on silviculture and sustainable forest management, has been developing some on these two main research topics, has a lot of experience in more than 20 international conferences, also had a short research stay at the University of Berkeley. So I will share now the video recording of her presentation.
Good morning to all of you, and thank you to the organizers of this event for inviting us to share with you our initiative that is still a newborn, but we are really excited and really hopeful about its future. Congratulations to the leaders of this amazing Auroral project that you've got, and I'm sure that will contribute to our regions and to our world to develop and to improve. What I'm going to tell you here is a story of cooperation between the University of Huelva and the Town Council of Huelva. But we hope that in the time coming, more companies, maybe institutions, will join us as well. Huelva is located in the southwestern corner of Spain, and it's a very warm and friendly place to live. We are very close to Portugal and very close to Morocco as well. And here it is where the University of Huelva is located. Huelva is an average-sized university with 12,000 students, with a quite big academic offer. We include 9 centers, 8 faculties and 1 school, and a lot of academic offer, bachelor, master's, PhD programs as well, in different areas: law, business, tourism, education, humanities, etc. The University of Huelva was born because of a popular demand. They were the citizens of Huelva who in 1988 organized a demonstration to ask for a university. And 5 years later, in 1993, the University of Huelva was born. Because of this origin, our institution has a strong commitment to the city and to the area, to the province as well. And our rector, Maria Antonia Peña, is very aware and actively leads this commitment. The University of Huelva is very international. We receive every year about 600 students from different universities around the world, not only from European universities, but also we have agreements with African and South American universities especially, but also from Asian and from many places around the world. We are also part of an alliance of universities that is trying to create an European university under the slogan Sustainable Horizons. This alliance is led by the University of Algarve, and there are 6 other universities taking part in it from different countries, from Finland, from Italy, from Germany, from Spain, etc. We still haven't got this project, but we are working very hard to get it. The university is not only the academic programs or the research and innovation that they lead. It is not only the learning teaching process, but it is also an institution with its own identity, very linked to the place, geographical and cultural, where it is located. To study in our university means also living Huelva, walking the pine forests in the beaches, tasting the local food and enjoying the music, the warm weather, the light. The touristic slogan of Huelva is Huelva la luz, Huelva the light. But you need to come here to understand why. And the students, national and international, and the visitors coming to the University of Huelva are a huge asset for the city and for the province in the present, because they rent flats, they buy groceries, they go to the bars, they walk in the streets where we can hear so many languages at the moment. They live in the city. And in the future, because some of them stay, and the ones who goes back to their countries, they will become ambassadors of our city abroad. And many of them come back with their families, with their friends, and they talk about Huelva, and they make Huelva a well-known place. So we understood that the university and the town council, we needed to be a team. Both of us, we want the same thing. We want a better city, and we want a better university. Working together would be a win-win situation, and we decided to sign up an agreement to develop the project Huelva University Town, Huelva Ciudad Universitaria. The project includes 12 axes for working in different areas, different services to which we could contribute from the university or from the city. And not only university and city, but as I said before, we would like more institutions to join us and to help us with this idea and with this project. As a Vice-Chancellor for Internationalization, I will probably stress a little bit more the international part of the program that I'm going to explain. But anyway, I will try that you will get a general idea of it. In the axis of mobility, we especially would like to promote the use of bikes as a more sustainable way of transportation. Unlike other European universities, it's not very traditional in Spain to use bikes as a way of moving around. So we want to promote that because we have the best conditions for it. We have a warm weather, and the city is quite flat, and the traffic is not so heavy. So this is the #1 goal for mobility. Also, together with the town council, we would provide discounts for students of the university for public transportation. Eco-campus or sustainable campus are also one of our goals, and we have a lot of work ahead about this idea, but we want to work for it. One of the ideas is to provide electric charge free for electric cars at the university and also at the city, and go together with this transition to renewable energies. Also, an idea that I especially like is the open classrooms. In this nice weather that we enjoy almost all over the year, we think it's a very good idea to use the natural energy around, the lights around, and nature to organize these open classrooms for students. Not every class would be able to be taught in these open classrooms, but there are really a lot of activities that we can organize in it, and it will make our campuses more livable as well. Also, community orchards are a good idea at the university and at the city to promote local food and sustainable food. The cultural area is one where we can work together, and both of us we can offer different ideas, different and interesting ideas. For example, I like to talk about the International Week that the university organizes every year. We invite our partners from European or non-European universities around the world, and we organize a whole week not only with academic activities but also with cultural activities. So the town council can help us to organize, for example, cultural activities for this International Week. So this is a picture that I especially love from our International Week in 2019, the last one that we celebrated in person, and where everyone got something from their own country, some hat or some dress or whatever, and it was a very nice intercultural experience. And about culture, and in relation with this sustainable horizon that we are always looking at, we also want to take the university closer to the parks in the city and to the natural parks in Ulva. And in this field, the town council also can help us, organizing walks in nature, like in Odiel Marshes, a natural park that is very close to the city, or some workshops or seminars open in the parks in the city, and offer different activities to national and international students to take them closer to nature. In sports, we are also working together in different actions. One that I especially like is to promote volunteering of students for sport championships or activities or events. For example, this year we are celebrating in Ulva the World Championship of Badminton, because one of the worldwide champions, Carolina Marin, was born here. So we are telling the students to collaborate, to be volunteer, because they speak different languages and they will be really useful in the organization of this worldwide event. Well, here you can see the webpage of this international championship. And about international promotion and interculturality, this is a field that I like, because I am the Pro-Vice Chancellor for Internationalization. So we have several ideas we are working at together with the Town Council. The first one is to turn the students into ambassadors of Ulva, the international students, and we've been working at this idea before the pandemic. Because of the pandemic we stopped working on it, but we will keep doing it. We organized travels around the province for the students to take pictures, to disseminate the pictures in the social networks and everything, to try to promote Ulva as a nice place to come, to stay, or etc. So I hope that when COVID finishes, we will keep working on this idea. And also at the university, we celebrate several international days, like the European Day of Languages, or the Erasmus Days, or the Day for the Spanish language. And it will be really useful. It is very useful that Town Council help us with these initiatives or with this idea, with the dissemination of the day, and helping us to organize several activities that don't stay at the university but disseminate all over the city, to make the city part of what the university is and what the university celebrates as well. Also, we are working, trying to promote the international menus in bars and restaurants. We don't want, of course, to avoid the local food, which is really good, and of course is also something that people that come here needs to enjoy. But we also would like to put this international sign in some bars or in some locals, from people from other places that come here, to find their own food as well around here. Within this framework of the agreement between the two institutions, we will keep working on ideas, looking for external funding, also looking for companies that support us. And well, we still have a long way ahead of us, but we have started yet. And as I've told you at the beginning, we are really excited and we are really hopeful about the future, because we are sure that this agreement will help us to have a better city and a better university. Thank you again, and many wishes for the success of your European project, Aurora. And well, maybe sometime I will see some of you here in Ulva.
Okay, so this was a presentation from Hayes Alejandro. I think it gave us a very interesting perspective on how much a university can do. So of course we don't have Hayes today with us, but if there are any questions particularly for her, we can send them later on a specific email. But I would like just to highlight a few things that she mentioned that are very important and in line with our summit related to this strategy and about bringing together this ecosystem of the city, the university, and the companies, and really build something together. So I think this is a very important message, and to develop around these 12 axes that she was mentioning, and the ones that are to promote a better sustainability and to promote the change in the behaviors, and also this perspective of having the ambassadors and bringing Ulva to wherever in the world people could be. So I think it's a very, very interesting approach, and it's nice that we could have this testimonial from the Pro Vice Chancellor at the University of Ulva. So for our next presentation, we have Marina Utkina. Hello, Marina. Welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
Do you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Now I share my presentation.
Yes.
I'll try to do it. Do you see it?
Let me see. Yes, if you can just put it on presenter's mode. And I will just, in the meanwhile, just introduce you so that everyone knows where you are from, which is from the Sami State University, Head of Scientific Association of Students, Postgraduates, Doctoral Students, and Young Scientists. And Marina has a PhD in law, is a senior lecturer, head of the Scientific Association, as I said, at some state university. So thank you, Marina, for being here with us today. And please, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Flavia. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to share with you a bit of information about the topic skills for smart communities. As Flavia represented me, I'm Marina Utkina, a PhD in law. So in these minutes, that I have, I would like to highlight key points of the given topic as follows: smart skills for the future, future skills for future cities, for smart cities, and also example of my Sumy State University. A few words about my university. It is located in Sumy city in the northeast of Ukraine. Its history began in 1948. Today, it's a leading university in the region, and currently it serves about 12,000 students who are pursuing bachelor's and master's degrees in 55 majors and 23 fields of knowledge. About 1,900 foreign students represent more than 50 countries worldwide. And also my university, it enters the ranking of the World University Rankings by Times Higher Education at the position 500 600, and first two position among Ukrainian universities. For universities that like a regional university, it's a great position, I can say. We have cooperation more than 280 partners from 50 world countries, including the USA, Great Britain, Austria, France, Belgium, Sweden, and other countries of the world. And we are a reliable partner for joint projects in frames of international grant programs of European Union. It's like Erasmus Plus and Horizon 2020. United Nations Development Program, DAD, American Councils, British Council, the World Bank, bilateral scientific and research projects, grants of private foundations. And we also accomplish more than 300 grants annually. For the last 5 years, the amount of research works in frames of international grant projects has increased 20 times. And we actively develop academic mobility programs, including long-term and short-term studies, internship and placement programs for undergraduate and postgraduate students, professional development, teaching, and research mobility for staff with substantial scholarship and grant support using technologies of credit transfer and recognition of academic results. There are also, we have at our University TOEFL Center, Educational Resource and Educational Centers of Microsoft, Cisco, Porto1, Delcam, Netcracker, Siemens, MindKey, Optimized Operation, Procodus, and other companies operating at the Sumdo campus. And to follow with the topic of our today's tables on skills, I would like to characterize some challenges. And I'll at the end of my presentation, I will make an example of Sumy State University. I'll try to give an example of it. In general, cities need the certain right people to lead their transformation. They can't do it with technology alone. You see that finding the right skills and talent is a challenge for many reasons, and technological development, global and demographic challenges, they change our everyday lives. The right skills help every person to adjust to these changes and ensure their well-being while contributing to society, productivity, and economic growth. Small cities, small towns, villages, they have their own, even maybe we can say unique skills requirement, and they need to find the right balance between their local needs and traditions and new smart city trends and opportunities, as well as retaining talent in the community. Nowadays, we see that according to many different factors, according to many different points, all people need to be equipped with a variety of skills. It's really our nowadays situation, and these skills, they can be ranging from basic, such as literacy, numeracy, digital, up to vocational or even technical skills, as well as entrepreneurial skills and transversal skills. But foreign languages, we can't say that it's like it's for me it's a basic skills. I think that it's kind of basic skills. And we have every country nowadays, it faces with several challenges. You see, it's transitions, green and digital, changing the way we live, the way we work, interact, and require change in skill sets to reach their full potential. Demographic change there requires every country to use all its talents and diversity. At the same time, it will also create new job opportunities in economies. The COVID-19 pandemic, it has made our learning, our work distance online, and it's nowadays it's our reality for millions of people in the whole world, and exposed to the limitation of our digital readiness. Really, it was in Ukraine such situation, and the pandemic also has negatively impacted job opportunities for many people. It's also our reality. In such case, we have another challenge. Too many people can't find a job because they do not have the right skills. They didn't learn. How to do it, or they don't know how. They weren't ready to it, or they're working in jobs they do not match their talents. We have also the opposite side, when employers can't find people with the right skills to fill their vacancies. It's also the right situation. For example, it's approximately, if I'm not mistaken, 40% of employers can't find people with the right skills. Despite everyone should have the chance to upgrade their skills on a regular basis. But in this case, only 35–40% of adults, they take part in learning, learning on the whole life, learning or something like that. The European initiatives for skills aim to mobilize all European stakeholders along for following lines of actions. Skills for job, working together, helping people to develop skills throughout their lives, as I have mentioned before. The European Skills Agenda of July 2020 sets out a 5-year action plan with 12 actions to help equip people in Europe with better skills and to put them to use by strengthening sustainable competitiveness as set out in the European Green Deal. It's like a plan to make the European Union's economy sustainable. It can be made by turning climate and environmental challenges into opportunities and making the transition just and inclusive for all. Ensuring social fairness, putting into practice the first principle of the European Pillar of Social Rights. It's access to education, training, and lifelong learning for everybody everywhere in the European Union. More needs to be done so that the 20 principles of the pillar help us build fairer and more well-functioning labor markets, as well as good welfare systems for the benefits of all Europeans. And increasing resilience to react to crisis based on the lessons learned during the COVID-19 pandemic. You see now that it's according this diagram, according to special reports in new foundation skills of the digital economy, developing the professionals of the future. New forms of learning are linked directly to the industry and provide skills required to get onto the job immediately, as it's professionals who seek employment or career advancement opportunities. In order to stay relevant for the workforce and smart cities of the future, it will be essential to invest in developing the required skill sets. And you see that nowadays it's like it's important to to have such so-called, so-termed social skills, and not even social but soft skills. At my university, at Sum State University, now we have even in our syllabus. We write a different kind of works, different kind of practical, not even practical, but different types of students' works to get together these social soft skills. And it's important. It's really important because communication, teamwork, independence, even, it's important for our students. Why? Because they will in 4 or 5 years they will try to find work, and it's important to give them understanding of such soft skills now. And now I want to tell you some key points, key statements about Sum State University and about our programs, about our different competitions that we have to improve our skills, to not even to improve, but to share, maybe to share with colleagues, with students. Firstly, I would like to tell you about Ulva. It's a very interesting research laboratory. It's research into the potential of immersive technologies in education, and it's began approximately 5 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. And during this time, we have a new direction. It's specializing in working with virtual and augmented reality. A specialized training and research laboratory, it's ULab. You can find it inside. You can write in the Google or in other website, Ulva, and you'll find an information in English about it. It's very cool, really cool research laboratory that can help create training simulators, textbooks, immersive technologies, help the students to fully immerse themselves in the case, interact with objects that are not available in the usual reality, learn to act in a critical situation, and as a result to improve the effectiveness of learning. Our university wants virtual and virtual reality technologies to go beyond standard teaching aids and provide them with new opportunities. We have such issues important for our university: innovation, analytics, and research, effective student self-government, immersive learning and development of startups, teacher training system, cooperation of the universities with business and community. This reality laboratory, it's unique, and even I can say that it does not have analogs in Ukrainian higher education institution. It's really so. It can be used to build virtual learning objects for various educational programs. For example, the laboratory provides an opportunity to model any equipment, conduct virtual social scenarios and experiments, organize interactive tours and excursions, interaction between participants in training simulations, military sports, and many others. Modern high-quality education is impossible without modern technology. And this laboratory is a good step in the implementation of practice-oriented learning and will be useful for students of all specialties. Thanks to this laboratory, we have changed approaches to learning. We provided students and lecturers with a new opportunity and tools for the educational process. Virtual technologies help to model the future workplace or research on situation as realistically as possible. They directly and emotionally affect the participant in the process, and this is a major advantage of virtual reality technologies for use in learning. You see that we have such services as virtual reality. It's any software, games based on virtual reality technology, it can be developed. If you need virtual reality applications, or if you even don't know what is virtual reality, it will help you. Then it's augmented reality. It's if you want to know what is it, how it works, if you want to use it in business or education, and if you want to create your own reality app, it's this laboratory can help you. Edu, you see that Edu, it's simulation for education. We have a lot of solutions to make our educational process more modern and high-tech. We can diversify our methods of education with AR apps and VR apps, or apps built on Unity 3D platform. And it's also, we have such as Mix Sumdo. I think that if you go on the link from Sumdo Edu.ua, you'll really find a lot of information that will impress you, because Ukrainian university can do this. It's really so. Game development, you see is such sign. Our guys, our students, they create video games. They can, this laboratory can create your own video game, and also the university opens access to its own resources and services, such as the lecturette learning materials designer, which allows you to create interactive web pages, tests, forums, tasks for collaboration, and the mixed learning platform, which is an online environment for all types of communication between students and teachers. The university also offers accommodation and access to educational materials by means of the open resource OCV SSU. And also I would like to show you, I think you see it. It's like pictures of our representatives, I can say, of our university. Sorry, it was the last. Representatives of every department. When you scan your QR code, you see such guy or girl. We tried to create a unique, really unique person. We can say such words, who tells about specialty, about department, about some unique phrase which help you to go to choose this faculty and department. I think that it's very creative, because you see that the girl, even she is not so tall as this boy policeman who represent my institute of law. And also I would like to tell you about something about, we have competition. We have annual competition, pedagogical innovations. The purpose of it is to stimulate our workers of universities to create and disseminate new modern forms of teaching, to ensure a high level of education implementation of the best practices in education activities. And we have such nominations, I think, which are important. It's face-to-face learning, students' independent study, career guidance work, lifelong learning, postgraduate education, and many others. Also, we have tutorial sessions of the business school, yes, and business. It's oriented on students, and it's a platform with entrepreneurs, new business connections, ground for the future startups. This project helps us to develop skills during practicals on business ideas modeling. It's I can say that it's a brief presentation, maybe brief summary that I wanted to tell you, because we have time limit. But I think that if you want to know more, I can tell you more, of course. But I think that you'll find everything you want at our link of Sumy State University. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much, Marina. I think it was really inspirational to hear what everything that you've been doing, and the approach, the vision that you shared with us. And I think that what you said about having the right skills and matching skills, I think this is why the internships are so important. Academic internships or Erasmus internships, and this is actually a big part of the work I do, apart with other responsibilities. But this academy that we have, and the possibility to have people that you work with and that you get to know under an internship, and allows the person and the company to grow together. I think this is a very important step, and not all the degrees have this possibility of academic internship, or well, if it is Erasmus, it's up to the person if they want to do it or not. But I think it's a big part of the process to have the connection with the real market.
Yeah, you see that for me it was important. I was not only I work here, but I was also studying at Sumy State University. I obtained my bachelor and master's degree here, and you see that it's very important to try to find such good stakeholders. I had good practical training when I was a student, and it's important. Why? Because learning and working, it's different things. Because everything you learn at university, it's a theory. Really, it's a theory. But when you go to work, it's a practice side, and it's important to understand what skills our stakeholders they want to receive from us. And I understood, as I am a lawyer, when I was in practice after my second or third course of bachelor degree, I understood that this theory is cool, but I need to have more skills which would be oriented to my future practical work. So it's quite important.
Yes, indeed. Thank you, Marina, again.
Thank you.
Okay, now we have this debate space. I think it will be more of a conversation also with Marina and maybe Eva, because Pekka is had to leave. Eva, as I mentioned, is my partner in our oral project. She works at European Digital SME Alliance. She's a junior project manager, which this entity is a network bringing together more than 20,000 digital SMEs. And Eva holds a master's degree in public policy and management. So thank you, Eva, for sharing here the panel and being a reporter for this session. And well, we have prepared some ideas that we could talk about. So first, I would like to ask the audience if they have any questions they would like to make to Marina after her presentation. And if not, we can start with some question, which is a bit related to what you were saying, and maybe we can discuss a bit what we think that the future digital citizenship skill set in a smart community would look like. What do you think about this? What will the future skill set in a smart community would be like, considering your experience and what you were mentioning as relevant for the topic? Marina?
Okay, what can you say about good skills? Firstly, I want to know what do you want me to say my understanding of good skills, or what is general understood by this term?
Well, yes,
I want
this one. If you want, Joaquin, you can. I can ask you to make the question to elaborate a bit more on the question, if you want.
I can. Okay, I can answer this question. Good skills, well adapted, and so. Okay, for me, honestly, it's like it's very subjective side, I can say, because it's for every person's understanding, their understanding of good skills, adapted skills, well adapted skills. It's quite broadly understanding, and for me, good skills that can be implemented in your area, in area where you work, or in area where you are good. Well adapted skills, it's like when you can, for me, it's only for me, I can't say for everyone. Well adapted skills, it's like when you understand it's on theory and you can implement it in practice, like you understand how to do it, not only to know what is it and that I can do it. Okay, I can do it, but not no more. Okay, I know for example, Italian language, but I don't use it. It's not well adapted. It's not well working, and so on. So for me, it's like something that can be implemented in your real life, in your work life, and so on. The formal education responsibility on promoting these skills. Okay, if I understood correct your question, formal education responsibility, it's like education at universities, yes? To give a right answer, to correct answer. If it's so, formal education to promoting these skills, it's important not for me as a lecturer also, it's not only to write in syllabus like it's a case method of studying which will help to obtain some skills for students, but not to use it. it doesn't work. So it really doesn't work if you write in syllabus and you don't use it. For our students, you see that in case of pandemic, it's very important to find new ways of work to them to obtain these skills, to try to okay, well, I don't read this. I answer the previous question. Try to share with your ideas, try to share with your experience for students, them to understand it. And it's also, for me, it's important to obtain soft skills, as I mentioned before. Then I hope I answered your question. Can you briefly give 3 tips to achieve funds to European level on the project to promote these skills? I'm not sure that I am an expert on this topic of funds at European level, but I think it must be a project which will be, first of all, it must be multicultural. It must be between different countries, really, because different countries, they have different understanding of skills. I was in Italy in my internship, and it was for 5 months, and they have another understanding of it. Really, it was quite another. I compared my PhDs, as when I was PhD student, I compared this one, and in Italy, it's like it's very, very, very impressive. Well, I was in Latvia and Slovak also, and it's also another level. I think that we must. It will be a good variant to a good option. Sorry, a good option to combine different representatives of different countries to create not even multidisciplinary. I think it must be a project that will interest European Union. Why? Because for them it's very important to understand that it can be implemented in different areas, not only in one. So for me, these tips, firstly, it must be between different countries, and countries must be like Ukraine, Italy, for example, and some also countries that are opposite, they are different. It's the first tip. Another one, it's like multidisciplinary. It's must, for example, not opposite discipline, not opposite kind of disciplines, but they must be really multidisciplinary, and it must work. This project must be interested, must be implemented in life, not only written on paper. So for me, it's like such tips. When we apply for such kind of projects, we firstly think about these things.
Yes, I would add.
Thank you for question.
I would add, maybe Marina, if you allow me, that maybe also the ecosystem, the entities that are working together, even the kind of entities, because what happens is that sometimes we have universities working only with universities, and companies working with companies. And I feel that from the experience I've got, and even in the recent experiences, that really when we have a very rich ecosystem with NGOs, with universities, companies, with all these different approaches to the way we work, we can really get a better outcome, because we really need to make the universities and the companies closer to, because I think there is no other way, and there is still, at least from my knowledge, there is still a huge gap there in Portugal, and not only, but I think Erasmus program is a really good answer, and also some others, but I think Erasmus program is a perfect answer for this kind projects, in a sense that, of course, it can be for the people to move to some place to do an internship or to study, or also to make a project between a company and the university. There is a whole world of opportunities on the Erasmus program that was actually launched in February, March. So the new program is just up to go. There are already calls ongoing that will end on May, and some others. So I think it's the perfect program to be mentioned here at skills level, because it really aims at working towards the better skills for everyone, and to promote the change and to give the opportunity, which I think it's what is needed. Thank you, Marina, for your interventions. I don't know. Do we have any other question from the audience? Or if not, I can just make a question myself as well, just to wrap it up. So I'm going to ask related also, you were mentioning about challenges in digital, and so maybe do you think that the current educational and training courses are oriented to enable citizens to adapt to fast digital changes? Well, we have an example now with the pandemic, and what skills and competencies are required to get them ready? Oh, sorry.
Yeah. Can you please repeat some part? I didn't hear the last part of your question. Sorry, it's bad connection, I think was.
No problem. I was asking if there are current educational and training courses that are oriented to enable citizens in adapting to fast digital changes, and the second part was related to what skills and competencies are required to get them ready.
Okay, if I understood rightly, correct your question. It's like enabled a person who didn't work with who didn't receive skills to work with IT. Yeah, I'm right. Okay.
Yes.
You see that it's very it depends on many factors, I think. Firstly, it depends on the age of such person, on its maybe it's inclusive education. Okay, it's okay, but you see that there are many challenges even for it. Why? Because it's very hard to teach such person. Why? Because you see that in younger age, if we are going to say about age, in young age, it's better to learn something, to remember something, and it's hard to remember some different kinds of IT technologies, maybe, or something like that. And even I know examples when a person was was fired because he couldn't do some works with computer, some simple tasks, but he couldn't do, and he went to such courses. Even we at our university give such courses. We have such courses, such training courses. It's really good now, because in case of pandemic, it's more people they are oriented to receive such skills, to work with computer, to work with new different equipment and something like that. But there are also another side, that employers who will choose between young people and who will choose between older people. Of course, we understand whom he will choose. It's of course it's like everybody is equivalent and so on, but it's our reality. It's our reality, and we can't do with it no more, because you think that 20 years ago we didn't have such technology and technologies and such equipment. Now we have. So for me, also the problem that we have online learning, because we can't give our students, we can't give our listeners, audience members, we can't give such knowledge, because it's a kind, for me as a lecturer, it's important to have their attention. It's very it's quite difficult to talk 1 hour 20 minutes and to tell them lectures, and they have such lecture in the day, if I'm not mistaken, 4 lectures. So the whole day they are looking into their computer, and we try to explain them how does it work, or how would it be, how would it help them in their future work, that these skills are important. So it's also a challenge. I hope I answered your question. If not,
Yes.
you can repeat.
Yes, indeed. It is really about how to really adapt to fast changes, which in some way I think the pandemic COVID-19 really well, it really promoted this kind of needed change in some aspects, that there is no way to escape it. Either we quickly changed and we were resilient, or we would, well, not evolve and just be waiting for everything to get better, which now we are 1 year and something after, and we are still more or less in the well, not in the same situation, but very close. So indeed, we need to be resilient and quickly adapt, which is, of course, one of the main issues that also relate to skills and smart communities. So it's of course connected.
You see that I can say that in this quick, as you told, quick changes, and we must learn really quickly. But at the same time, we understood that via online work, we can do online, when we have online meeting, we can do some other work at the same time. So you see that it's an issue, and we don't know how to. We are only trying to live with it. It's the 2nd year, and we are trying to live with it. So I hope it will be, we will implement our knowledge, our skills to live with such quick challenges and changes even.
Yes, indeed. I think multitasking had a whole new new concept after COVID, because indeed we are always even more multitasking when we are in meetings and answering emails and working to get everything done, because it seems like the time is never enough to everything that we have to do, which I think that really when we go from the university context, when everything is very it is what it is, of course you have deadlines and so on, but when you go to the real life situation, you are a bit overwhelmed with, okay, so now what should I do, where is my place? And I think that this is one of the, as you were mentioning, the soft skills is one of the key issues, and I think that really there is still a huge work to do there. And I think the programs of the universities and the connection, like Reyes was mentioning in her intervention, with the city, with the university, with companies, it's the perfect way to make available solutions to make people more to have more competences and to be able to evolve faster. So yeah, I don't know is there any other question, comment from anyone? I think, I don't know, Marina, are you up to one more question, or because since you were alone now, as our previous speakers are not available, or if you'd like just to wrap it up, let me know.
You want to ask me one more question, yeah?
Yes, indeed.
Of course, it's okay.
Okay, perfect. This one is related to what do you feel that the communities, on what practices should the communities put focus in order to strengthen the professional skills, like here more at the city level, at the community level, what could be done?
In community level, I think that it's only my opinion. Also, every time I say that it's only my opinion, not every person. It's important to have such forms of webinars according to city powers, for example, and academics, scholars, and maybe students to understand. They can gain their experience in different areas. You see that it's quite different areas, quite different directions, and it's important to have such webinars, such maybe project teamworks. It's important to make teamwork as good team players, because it's like it's an important skill. You see that independence is quite good, and it's important also, but to be a good team player, it's more important, because you work in a collective that can help you or can even damage you, maybe in some cases. Though it's like different. For me, it's like webinars, practical workshops, seminars, maybe, but not only in academic society. It must be oriented in different types of representatives. Academic society, NGOs, but city powers, maybe regional powers, and different kinds of representatives. In such case, it will be good implemented and well adapted, I think.
Okay, thank you. I think, yes, you are fully right. I think teamwork is really, of course, it's good that you can work alone, but as you mentioned, it's even better if you know and you can work in a team, because there is a limit to what you alone can do. And when you are working with a team, you can enhance everyone's capabilities. And I think nowadays this is what makes more sense. And actually, I was remembering what you said about going to Italy and understanding that it was totally different. In my case, was I'm in Portugal. I'm Portuguese, so I was studying in Portugal, and I went to Poland to do Erasmus in Sopot in Gdańsk. So it was also very different for me, because indeed. At least, well, this was already a few years ago, but in our university we didn't have much this group work. This we had, but quite a few, so not very in the classroom to be working together and so on. Off the classroom, yes, we had to do some works, but inside the classroom to have these dynamics was very not common. And in Poland it was the most normal situation, and it was very, very different and nice to really understand how it is done in different places. So I think it's very important to really learn and to try to make the best out of these kind of experiences, because indeed it's totally different. Anywhere we go, it will be different from where we are. So and I think this is what adds up to the skills that we want to achieve. I don't know. I think we are a bit earlier, but also our debate was more focused. So
yeah.
I don't know. I'll just like to thank Hector, actually, because he's here and he's one of our trainees. So thank you for being here, also attending, Hector. And yes, last opportunity if you'd like to make some questions. Otherwise, I would close the session. I would thank very much Marina for being here with us, and of course our previous speakers as well. And enjoy the summit. It will continue throughout the next days. So just feel free. We have several tables ongoing at several at the same time. Tomorrow we'll begin the Future Lab, which will be more focused on co-creation sessions for European opportunities, which we will focus on several clusters of Horizon Europe. So it will be a great moment for and the different topics from digital to farming to, well, everything that is covered. So just feel free to join us and to be in this amazing summit that we are developing under the Portuguese presidency. And we had this amazing opportunity to be able to be here with so many different people from different countries and really learn from this experience. Of course, we would prefer to do it presential from Alentejo, which was the initial perspective, to have this big summit presential. But in this way, I think we can also, of course, reach even more people that perhaps would not be so easy, of course, to attend. Yes, thank you everyone for joining. Feel free to direct to us any additional questions, any comments, and thank you once again. Take care, everyone.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.